got the Texas Fan Better Podcast. Jim Bridge, Fit for Crenshaw. You know the best out there. Keno, from Diggity 713. To all my Texans Nation. If you feeling good, I want you to throw them H's up high. Yeah, like that. I see you. Let's swarm. Yeah, Houston, Texas, born and raised. Yeah, that's where I'm from. The best city in the state. Yeah, we stay turned up. There's excitement in the air for the Houston Texans. We swarming all year, causing havoc, we wrecking. Coming off that edge, we got 5-5-5-1. Thing on the outside, locking down your number one. All about the swarm mentality. In the H, standing on business is the way we operate. I rep that 7 like CJ, that 1 like Diggs, that 3 like Dale. H-Town, we doing it big, you know that 12 out here, and don't you never forget, better pick your poison, cause we got Joe in the midst. We rock that battle red, still blue, Liberty white, H-Town blue, drip galore, man, we so fresh, fire like the field. Shout out to the whole squad, chasing greatness, eyes on the prize, one goal, it's time to take it. Let's get it. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them Texans, cause them Bulls about to perform. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them.
Hello. Welcome back to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast. I'm your host today, Matthew Briggs. I got a special guest, but before I introduce him, let you know Crenshaw and Kendall will not be joining us tonight because they are watching the best rapper in the game right now at NRG. They are watching Kendrick Lamar tear it down. So I give them a break tonight. You know, that's more a little bit more important than the draft. But as my special guest, y'all seen him many times on the show with us because he's the family of the show. He has a seat one's welcome. We got Mr. Arlie himself from the league. What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. I'm doing just fine. Was starting to get some draft fatigue, but now with all the rumors running rampant, it just woke me back up again, ready to get going for Nick Caserio and whatever happens tomorrow night.
It was like a bump off the bathroom stall, right? It's like
yeah,
ready to go, right? I mean, a little X-rated, but I mean, dude, got some bump, right?
Yeah, for sure. I was like, oh, okay. Because I started getting like, okay, we're gonna be at 25. All right, I could be comfortable. I could miss the first few picks in the draft, but now it's like, better get your ass seated at 7:00 when it comes on because you don't know what's gonna happen with Nick Caserio, especially Nick Caserio at the wheel. You just don't know where this destination is gonna land.
Yeah, I mean, they call me Seth Briggs, but man, Nick Caserio's just cooking. Like all these drafts that we had, he's always done something magnificent with the draft. I mean, who thought last year we have 2 lockdown corners or defensive backs? Nobody thought Kamari Lassiter and Bullock was going to be anything good out of the draft. And you can argue their top 5 out of the draft is not top 3. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be special. Speaking of that, trades. Do you think there's going? Obviously, they're talking about jumping up to the top 10. What does that look like in your aspect? What's going to cost us to jump up there?
My goodness. I first of all, I'm against the idea of trading up. I really am. It's not that I'm against trading up a few spots, but to trade up in the top half of the first round, you're going to be having to give up some sort of draft capital attached to it. Now, the Texans do have said draft capital. They got that 2nd round pick next year, an extra 4th round pick next year as well too. So yeah, the Texans have the ability to trade up, but I don't think said ability is the best idea for themselves unless they just want to move up a few spots and secure somebody that they're seeing right at the 20s, maybe even 18. But again, that's 7 spots. We saw a proposed deal, just proposed trade idea between us and the Cowboys moving all the way up to 12. That was a hefty price tag. I mean, you're giving up your first, the 58th, and a second round pick next year. If you're looking even, I mean, we just saw the latest mock draft. Who was it for? Was it Schrager? I could be wrong, but it was somebody from ESPN, and they had Kelvin Banks going all the way up to 6. And that is supposedly the number one guy, at least rumors say, for the Houston Texans. They seem to be super high on Kelvin Banks. I'm not trading up that high. I'm not doing it. This is. I went on a little brief like talk and spiel on Bleacher Report, but it was like, in summary, hey, y'all, Nick Caserio and the Houston Texans, they put themselves in this situation. In the offseason, they had the ability to add more free agents for the offensive line room. Yeah, you grabbed a few guys, but as currently constructed, we're not talking OC, we're not talking O-lines coach. As currently constructed on paper, this offensive line room, it ain't good. It's barely average, maybe, and you still don't know who's going to be playing where. We saw the Chicago Bears go do some deals, and now their offensive line room looks completely different than last year, and Caleb Williams' life is going to be so much better for it, at least on paper. I wanted the same thing for CJ Stroud. I don't mind trading away Laramie Tunsil. I understand it because of money and some of the intangibles that's been swept under the rug. Like, I get that, but there are plenty of other moves you could have made, because now it kind of feels like, with all the rumors, and if they are real, then it kind of feels like the Texans are getting backed into a corner now, and they're kind of forced to trade up for an offensive lineman. I don't want to be in that mentality.
Well, let me introduce our other guest. I told y'all we're going to have some surprise guest. A brother of the show, always has a seat as well as Harley. We got Mr. Bo Diggity himself. What's going on, brother?
Yo, can y'all hear me? Can you hear me good? Sound good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how y'all doing out there, man? Just another day in paradise. Happy to be on the show.
Yes, sir. Well, we're talking about trades. With all the rumors, we're talking about trading up, all the way up to the. Already said 12th. I seen some people saying to the 10th spot. So, what's your thoughts on it, Bo?
Do we have to? That's my question. Do we have to trade up? Is it necessary? Is it really necessary to either give up capital, give up picks this year, give up picks next year, move a player? Are we really desperate enough to trade up for this group of guys? That's my first question. Me personally, I say no. What was the point of you going out to get all these journeyman linemen? Because all I hear is trading up for a lineman. That's the whole thing. Trade up for a tackle. Get your tackle now. Get your cornerstone tackle now. That's all I keep hearing. Trade up for that person or Booker. I keep hearing that over and over and over again. But is it really necessary? We've seen CJ work with a makeshift offense the first year of his career. Granted, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened the second year. I don't know if maybe Bobby Slowey made it too, difficult, too much going on, too many moving pieces. But we've seen CJ work with a makeshift offensive line. So if you give him guys, which I think we have now, granted, we haven't seen them together as a unit, but I think it's a decent, formidable offensive line to contend, if that makes sense. I know, granted, all these picks, Banks, the kid from Ohio State, I've got his name, that fast Booker. I know it looks sexy right now, but wouldn't you rather have another weapon for CJ and try to see what you have with this offensive line first, and then make moves next year? If you really get desperate, then next year go get a lineman in your first round next year. But I feel like you don't have to move up this year to get what you're looking for. That's just me personally. I could be wrong, but that's just me personally. Give him a weapon. Give him another receiver to depend on. Because other than Nico Collins and maybe Christian Kirk, what do you have? What do you really, really have that you feel good about? Is Robert Woods still here?
Nope.
Is he still he's not here, right?
No.
And now you have Mechie and Hutchinson. Now, Hutchinson, if you really believe in him, go ahead and throw him out there. But I feel like we've seen enough from Mechie. I feel like we've seen enough. I feel like we can move on from that chapter. So find you a formidable receiver in this draft, and then at least for the first round. I'm not saying for the rest of the draft. If you find lineman you like, second, third, go for it. But I feel like we don't have to trade up. Not this year.
Yeah, and it's this thing, like you said, Bo, 2 years ago, the best line that the Texans seen in a while. It was the makeshift line. Um, but what also kind of got me just a little unconcerned, what is Bobby Sloat's gone. Like that should be the best thing happened this offseason. Bobby Sloat's gone. I can't remember his first name, but Strauzer's gone. You got Chris. You got Popovich, and you got Nick Caley coming in. So it seemed like they're doing a whole reload.
And the diva's gone. The diva's not there no more. You traded the diva away. So now there should be no excuses of going to practice and half-assing it, which I think that's what they did. You had a O-line coach who was on a break of retirement. You come in, you're mailing it in every practice. You don't have that no more. You have either I would like to say hungry-minded individuals as a new offensive coordinator, as a new offensive line coach, people that want to prove themselves, in my opinion. So I feel like if you get that mentality in the building and you get the swarm mentality into your offensive line, regardless who's the 5, I think you can make great things happen with what you have in office right now.
Yeah, and not to say too, we don't know yet, but on paper we have a coordinator that can actually, look at what's happening and adjust to the game. None of this, defense don't adjust mid game. Teams don't adjust to us. Yes, they do. We've seen that all last year. So hopefully it looks like we got that. So that right there is going to help us. We're not going to put Dalton Schultz on George Karlaftis 3 times and allow C.J. Stroud to get sacked 3 times, or a rookie Case Orwell on Jonathan Gennard twice and get sacked twice. So hopefully, and it seemed like Popovich and Nick Caley have the same mentality as D'Amico, and it's that swarm mentality. And I think that's what we should draft. Like, this is in my opinion, this is the first time in the history of Texas, all the way back to 2002, we are at a spot where we can pick the best player available. We don't have to go out and get a need. Would it be nice? Yes, but we don't have to. So, like if a receiver's there, you like it, take it. If Banks falls somehow, you like him, take it. If he has that swarm mentality, like there's a lot of players I would like. I would like Greg Zabel at Dakota State. Mm-hmm. Like that dude has the swarm mentality. Yes, his arm's a little short, but I mean, that can be fixed, right? Like different ways to block.
So, I'm just saying, there's no need to reach Nick. If for anybody out there that's saying Nick needs to make a crazy move this draft, he's done his crazy moves for this organization already. I feel like the Will Anderson was a crazy move, paid off. I feel like even going after Tank Dell when C.J. Stroud said draft Tank Dell and he went and took him in the 3rd round, it's paid off. Granted, he's been injured, but I think the crazy moves are not necessary, like you said, Matt. You can get the best player available. You don't have to reach. There's no need to be like, oh man, we need to trade him so this guy don't get taken off the board. I don't think you have to do that. That's just me personally, not this draft. Because last year you lost your first. Granted, you had Stephon Diggs. You trade the other way to get him, but other than that, I feel like in this year's draft, whoever's there at 25, take him.
Yeah.
Don't try to trade away too much just to get a 10th pick or the 12th pick.
Well, so here's what I would like to do, and people might call me crazy and stupid, but I'll take it. Trade out of 25th. Trade back. Get a couple more second rounders, maybe a late first. Like this draft is so stocked in tight ends, receivers, running backs, defensive tackles. Yes, the lineman's a little iffy, but there's guys in the second round I think that could fit the scheme. Grady Zabel, Rutledge, the Donovan Jackson, they all in second round. So just fall back, add more capital, and cook. Like we don't, like you said, we don't have to trade all that just for one player. I think the quantity will be better if you have more to choose from.
Yeah, because we're all in agreement, right, Matt, right, Harley, that your cornerstone pieces are there already. You have your cornerstone pieces. It's time to build around what you have far as star wise. It's not about trying to reach for a crazy player, sexy pick. It's about finding players that's going to support your team that you currently have and coming with the same mindset. hopefully they take that into consideration as much as talent. Does this guy fit as a Texan? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we got to pick, right? Hardy, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree with y'all. The only thing I'd say is, unfortunately, Gray Zabel is seemingly mocked continuously to 18 with the Seattle Seahawks. Watching Todd McShay's video yesterday, he mentions numerous times he can't see Gray Zabel leaving the Seahawks at 18. So unfortunately, there's a guy that is on the list for the Texans. We assume so. Has had a private meeting with them, met with them at the NFL Combine or the Senior Bowl, one of the two, or hell, maybe both. But he floored the Senior Bowl. He was fantastic there. And John Harris was really high on him, somebody that's also covers the Houston Texans locally. So he might not be an option for you at 25. Donovan Jackson can be an option, yes. But everyone else, Josh Simmons might be an option. In terms of what Bo Diggity's saying with the wide receiver, look, we just saw who is DJ Bieniemy from ESPN on his mock draft. They had an NFL Nations mock draft. Basically, they have all the local reporters from each NFL team. They have their local reporters, associated with ESPN, make their selection at 25. And DJ Bieniemy had Emeka Egbuka for the Texans at 25. So we continuously have seen offensive linemen, but then we get DJ Bieniemy say Emeka Egbuka. And then Todd McShay's latest mock draft right now, just posted it a few hours ago, has the Texans selecting Matthew Golden at 25. So as much as the rumors have been running rampant for all linemen, at the end of the day, it is tough for me to believe rumors when it comes to Nick Caserio and the Houston Texans. You're thinking they're going zig and they zag right the other direction. So it's, as much as I want to believe these rumors, and they make a lot of sense, they're plausible rumors because offensive line is a need, but ultimately we just don't know what they're going to do. That's what it comes down to.
So if Nick does move up, sorry, Matt, if Nick does move up, what do you guys think? Is a O-line or receiver?
It's O-line if he's moving up.
O-line?
Yeah,
definitely.
Or unless say Grant, Nolan, a high prospect defensive tackle was there, D'Amico might say, have we ever seen D'Amico Ryans work with a young, high potential defensive tackle? No.
If they didn't bring back Rankins, right? That's Rankins, right? If they didn't bring back Rankins, I would say yeah. But I feel like they like that deep tackle by committee type players where it's like there's not like a definite star in the middle.
I agree with you, but what was our biggest problem at that defensive tackle area?
Yeah.
Injuries. So I think, and we know, D'Amico, he likes to rotate guys.
But see, that's why I keep going back to receiver, because it's like, how many more playoff games are we going to see just Nico Collins? Just bank on, hey, we got Nico. How many more seasons will we have to deal with that? Like, enough is enough, man. At the end of the day, you got to make it to the playoffs with all, I don't want to say all of them, but at least two formative receivers you can depend on to make plays for you. Because the last 2 seasons been Nico or nothing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's why I say go get a receiver.
But that kind of go back to Harley's discussing, about Eric Bieniemy. It kind of makes sense, right? Because he follows the team. Like all these national media, they only see outside looking in. All they see is, Laremy Tunsil left, Zach Mason left. They traded Kenyon Green, but they doesn't realize C.J. Stroud was the second most sacked quarterback. He was the first hurried quarterback in the whole NFL. So they don't see that they had to do something because that wasn't working. And then, like we just said, with Nick Caley coming in, there's got to be a game plan. And so, yes, it would be nice to get a tackle, but I'm kind of in a fence with you, Bo. I think they just take who the best player is, and if that's a receiver, Look, Matthew Golden falls at you 25. You're not going to take it. Double E falls at you number 25. You're not going to take it. Like I just find that Luther Burton. A lot of people don't want him, but I'll take Luther Burton. I would love him here. And you don't take him. You don't take a swing at it. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I have seen a lot of people say if Amari Hampton from North Carolina falls, take him. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I can see why.
Is Cam Robinson on a 1-year deal?
Yes.
Yeah. Like 14.5 million, something like
So
that.
that's why you go. So that's why you go tackle then, right? That's why you go tackle, because you don't expect him to, I guess, come back the year after. So I guess because my thing is this: if you get a tackle now, are you then moving? Because Titus is your guard, I'm sure. Cam, Titus, Patterson. What's the boy name from the
We got Lincoln Tomlinson.
Yeah, Lincoln Tomlinson, and then you got
Ingram.
Fisher. So are you saying then if you get a top tackle, Banks, whoever, you moving Blake out? You just taking Blake out?
Well, we also got the tackle that was an All-Pro and he got hurt and it hasn't been the same. Brown.
Trent Brown.
Trent Brown.
Yeah,
he's right. You're right about that.
Yeah.
So this is why I say that, because it's like, man, if you're going to, I don't want to say waste, but if you're going to use that pick on the tackle, he has to project the start. Am I lying? Am I wrong on this? Am I off? When you expect him to be a day one starter?
You would hope so.
You would hope so. Well, and see, to me, and that's why I think all these moves are fitting to that philosophy of Swarm. Like every single position on that line. It doesn't care if tackle, guard, or center. It's best man out there. It's competition. Like you have to win the spot. No spot is guaranteed. Now,
I wish he was a great center in this draft, because I feel like that's be the number one you go for, a great center.
Well, they said Gray's able to play some center and be really good at it, but Way Hard's talking. He's not gonna be there at all. So.
No, I don't think so. I think I'm believing everyone. I mean, it's pretty coincidental. I did 3 videos, 3 mock drafts. And considering tomorrow's a draft, all mock drafts had Gray Zabel 18. All of them. And all of them had Ashton Genty going number 5 to the Jaguars.
Really?
That is a huge change compared to, because we saw Mason Graham was continuously the guy. Mason Graham, the D lineman, going to the Jaguars. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't mind that. I know that our O-line ain't the greatest, and that D-line is a little scary with Mason Graham, but I'd rather that than an Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty going to the Jaguars to help Trevor Lawrence out and giving him a run-pass option now, and now you can do whatever you want, and he could be a little bit more comfortable. That's the last thing I need is for Trevor Lawrence to start figuring it out.
Yeah. With the BTJ right there with him.
Yeah. That's the last thing I need. That's one where I went, oh, okay. And that's where I'm like, man, I think what bodes well for Houston is when you look at, we all know Cam Ward's going number 1 to the Titans. I want to know what the Browns are going to do. I know everybody's mocked Travis Hunter there. Either him or Abdul Carter. Seems like Travis Hunter is going to be the pick. Everyone seems like the top 3 is going to be Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, and Abdul Carter. I wouldn't put it out there that the Browns take a look at Ashton Genty either. The running back position is super trendy right now. We saw it, it got reignited with Joe Mixon here in Houston, Derrick Henry in Baltimore, and then the Super Bowl champ in Saquon Barkley. Like, they put some more emphasis in the running back position. Yeah, we're a little bit older, but we could do our thing. Maybe not Barkley, but Henry and Joe Mixon, older guys, did their thing this previous year. So it's trendy to pick a running back. The Browns don't have a running back. They did not bring back Nick Chubb. Their running back group is not great. And offensively, it is not good. It's not looking good for them. They need something offensively. Why would you take a Travis Hunter for when you can get yourself a dynamic offensive option? And to me, that bodes well for Houston, because then you're looking at the top 4 where Travis Hunter is going to be picked somewhere in that top 4, and then Abdul Carter. What I mean, it helps Houston, is because Will Campbell, the offensive tackle, is the guy that continuously falls to the Patriots at 4. And just another slot down. Now, where does he get picked? The Raiders seem to like Kelvin Banks in one mock draft. They just seem like they're going everywhere. Who knows what happens there? But now, if they have an opportunity to take Will Campbell and they take a look at their big board and say, okay, do we want him? Do we want Banks? Do we want Armand Membu? Where are we going to go there? Like, those are 3 tackles already that are still on the board. Any little thing like that can change this draft. So a lot of the talking heads have said that the draft starts at number 4 with the New England Patriots. And what do they do?
And like you said, that doesn't change the fact. Like maybe they get a defensive tackle, help that defensive line. Like right. If Gentry goes at 4 or even 5, like that's a big shift in momentum. Hell, even like you said 2. I mean, that's crazy. If the Giants get I can't think Travis Hunter, that means they might trade up and back in the first round and go get Sanders. I mean, have it back.
Oh,
I mean, wouldn't you if you're
the NFL script writers would love a Travis Hunter in New York scenario. They would love it. Don't put him to Cleveland. Don't put him to New York. Give him a big old media platform. He's going to be the Odell Beckham Jr. of the New York Giants over there. That would be fun for the NFL media.
Absolutely. Well, fellas, I kind of did what Harley said. He did all of the mock drafts, and this is kind of what is seen for the Texans. Potential of us getting in each one. Harley, I'll start with you, brother. Which one does any of these pop off the list at you?
I know everyone's been talking like Josh. I know Josh Simmons has been mocked continuously to us. Daniel Jeremiah's just dropped a mock draft maybe an hour ago, and he had Josh Simmons mocked to the Houston Texans. Was it Josh Simmons? No, he had Tyler Booker. Excuse me. I forgot who it was. Somebody had Josh Simmons. I think it was an ESPN draft. It was one of these mock drafts. I've done too many now. But I don't understand Josh Simmons pick to Houston. It's not the prospect. Like, I think Josh Simmons could be a very good prospect, but the mindset, like, there's a lot of stuff around him negatively where it comes to some character concerns around him. And for the Houston Texans, you're trying to reset the offensive line room. You're trying to reset the culture in the offensive line group. It just doesn't feel like you would go Josh Simmons at 25. It doesn't. That's the one where I'm like, I don't understand why he continues to get mocked to us unless the Texans just say, screw it. We're going to get one of the best tackles before his injury in this NFL draft. I mean, the film looks very good for Josh Simmons. I like Kelvin Banks. You might have to trade up to get him, though, obviously. Matthew Golden, I'm not sure if he falls to 25. There's like fingers crossed because I'm a little Houston Cougar fan over here. Whose house? Trying to get hyped over here with my Houston Cougars. I love Matthew Golden. I got some bias with him. I'm not really high on Tyler Booker.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree.
I don't know.
You don't like that, but I agree.
I don't know why. I don't know. I'm not trying to helmet scout, like I'm not trying to look at the previous Alabama offensive lineman and going, man, which one has been any good in the NFL? I hate doing that. I'm trying to look at how does he look this year? And Tyler Booker, the film, Jordan Reed, ESPN Draft Insider, was on my YouTube channel, and he talked glowingly about Tyler Booker. I didn't have any chance to combat him though, because he talked about him being extremely scheme dependent. He performed bad at the NFL Combine a bit. He's unathletic, and he is perfect in a bully in the phone booth, as he called him. But my problem is in the offensive line is maybe I'm overthinking it, but how many times are you in the phone booth? How many times is it just that perfect situation where it's just man on a man, helmet to a helmet, and you're in the phone booth? That's the only problem with Tyler Booker. It gets me worried. But then I go, am I overthinking it? Because he's got over 900 plus snaps with only like 1 sack allowed of pass blocking slaps. So you're going, damn, that's a damn good stat. That's a lot better than what we had last year. So I'm torn on Tyler Booker. I really am.
Well, the thing with Tyler Booker for me, like you said, everything that you just mentioned, we already seen that here already. We just sent him the field.
To the Eagles.
Yeah,
Yep.
I keep seeing that.
Yep.
That's the only thing that scares me. Like I got PTSD. Like we don't need that.
Yeah, I just think with Bama linemen, like I don't want to do this. I never want to do this either, Harley. But with Bama offensive linemen, it's like everything be perfect. You know what I mean? Like you have a great center, you have a great tackle near you, you have a mobile quarterback back there making plays out this world, so nothing looks bad. You know what I mean? But I just something in me say, I'm okay. I'm okay on that.
Well, what about you? Anything that pops off of this list for you?
The Scalaboo third, the Scalaboo there at the third round is interesting to me because I wouldn't mind that. We need another back to help out Joe Mixon. People still love Pierce.
He's kind of like the opposite of Joe Mixon, right? Like,
yeah, he's running into people. He just throwing his body at will. You know what I mean? So I mean, hey, who knows if it'll work? But yeah, I love his game because I remember I watched him against Texas this past year. Amazing athlete. Who knows if he can do that, if that can translate to the NFL. Donovan Jackson in the second round. Will he be there in the second round like that? Will he be there?
He might. He's a tweener. I think if anything, the Texans could draft him at 25 if they stayed pat. But is it a little bit of a reach? Maybe. But he could be a guy that's a tweener. Like he ain't gonna stay in that second round very long.
Gotcha.
And he has the flexibility to play tackle. He did it when Josh Simmons got hurt. So he's a guard and tackle, and he played. I mean, no bitching, no moaning, no complaining. Oh, Josh Simmons is down, no problem. I can go over there and play tackle, and then played it good too. Like, damn, he's a fun prospect.
Just give me hungry offensive linemen that want to work, man. That's all I want.
And
that want to come to work and work at their craft and be great and not mail it in every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. You know what I mean? Like,
he also took reps at center.
Really?
So, yes, in high school and a couple of younger years in college. So he has that Swiss Army knife aspect, kind of like Tyson, So hopefully a little bit better, but yeah, I wouldn't mind him. I mean, like Harley said, you might have to get him at 25, but if he fits the mentality and the scheme, like why not? I know that's a quote unquote excuse, but look, guys, scheming fixes a lot of things and so does mentality. So you got to fall into it.
And with Josh Simmons, how significant was that injury? Was that a real significant injury? Like, do you want to use your first round pick on a player who had a real significant injury? Like I feel like at this point, stay away from the injury prone players. That's just me.
We're already injury prone as it is.
Exactly. I don't know what it is. Like you said, I don't know what it is in the past. Texans just got that injury bug, man. I just feel like if he had an injury in college that was real significant that took him out, I don't think you should swing for him in the very first pick. That's just me. Just me.
And maybe that's something that will have him fall. I mean, if he fell to the early second round, I mean, that's another way to trade back. I mean, he could be there. Who knows?
I was going to say, if your top three choices as like Nick Casario at the Texans, if your top three choices are gone, just trade out of that first round. Trade out of that first round and get you some more picks on the back end and find you some good support players instead of just having to just, oh, well, this person here, so let's just draft them. That's just my look at it.
To me, I don't think Trayvon Henderson's going to be there in the second for us. I think he's a tweener too. I can see him go to the first, maybe to the Chiefs or somebody like that.
He's a Chief. He screams Chiefs.
I
hate it.
I'm saying, but I do see us getting his Ohio State counterpart in Jukins.
Yeah.
Like he fits everything that they want. The dude's he's a beast. So hopefully, I'm in agreement with Bo. Like, yes, we need offensive linemen. But man, we need some weapons.
Yeah,
we need some depth with those weapons too. So,
especially what this league is like trading receivers for. Like they want first round picks for these receivers in these NFL already. Like they don't want no just third or fourth or fifth. So at that point, get you a great receiver in the draft. And that way you can have them on the books for 3-4 years without them being so expensive. You know, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and Joe Mixon was a great running back for us. I love that we have him, but let's be honest, running back years ain't very long.
Yep.
And last year it kind of hurt us not having him on the field. Dare and Cam Akers are good, but they're not that guy to get us, 100 yards a game that we need to kill the clock. It's just not that type of guy. So, and Cam Akers is gone. Damian Pierce, I don't know why he's still on the team, but I think it's this time.
That's what I'm going to ask you. Do you guys think any current Texans get traded before the draft or on draft night? Is anybody in your mind right now you think they get deal draft night?
People ain't gonna like this, and trust me, I'm a big fan of him. I was debating on getting his jersey, but I don't think Christian Harris will be here much longer.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, because you got told, you got EJ Speed now. You got Aziz. Yeah. But if they do go that route, what do you expect from a linebacker who really hasn't played? What are you expecting? 6th, 5th, maybe next year's 5th. The way they be dealing linebackers.
Oh yeah, about maybe a 5th or 6th. We don't get much out of him, but
that sucks.
It's his last year.
Great, man.
Right. It'll get his money on off the books. Like I know it's not a lot of money, but it'll give us some off the books. I would love to see Dalton Schultz gone. But let's be honest, it's not
anybody taking that contract, Matt? Anybody taking that contract?
No. Well, and it's not taking the productivity either, Besides, take the blocking out of it, because I think a lot of blocking issues had to do with Bobby Slowick and Strausser, but third down.
With Caley coming now, maybe he got some tricks on his sleeve for tight ends. Maybe he can make him more effective. We don't know. We'll see.
There's 3 things you can count on, right? Death, taxes, and Dalton Schultz not catching the ball on third down. Is this that's what it is, man. Like especially crucial third downs, right? Like we got to move the ball. He drops. How many times in the Chiefs game do we say we gotta catch the ball? And then there goes the ball and he drops it.
Yeah.
Like CJ Stroud never really had a security blanket in a tight end position. He can go back to his rookie year. There's a lot of key drop back. Yes, he has some great catches in his rookie year. But man, there was a lot more bad drop passes on crucial downs. So that's what. Hardy, you see anybody moving?
Not really. Not really. I can't see a Dalton Schultz trade. I mean, we talked about the contract, so I can't see it happening. I would love for the Texans to take a look at the tight end group here in this draft. They're pretty deep at the tight end position in this draft room. So, but considering the other needs, and it seems like the attention is towards maybe even offensive line, wide receiver, running back, DT, then you go, oh yeah, don't forget about tight end. You drafted one last year in Kate Stover. Brevin Jordan, I think Brevin Jordan is a candidate for a breakout player for the Texans. Has to stay healthy, but could be somebody that with Nick Caley, a former tight ends coach, I think Brevin Jordan has a lot of athletic ability that Nick Caley is going to love, and he's a willing blocker. That's something you don't have in this group besides Stover. I don't know if TQ's still on the team. I think he is. I don't know whatever happens to him, but
he got
Schultz. Yeah. Okay. Schultz, I don't see a trade there. I don't see a trade with Christian Harris. I still think there's so much potential there with Christian Harris still. I don't see a trade happening there. I know he was hurt this previous year, and he shouldn't have even came back at the end of the year, but you're on the field, you're healthy, right? I mean, it is what it is. There's no excuses. But I, can't speak on anything else there with Christian Harris before I give something away. But he shouldn't have been on the field last year. He didn't even take his right snaps even in the Chiefs game. I don't even know if he played in the Chiefs game. I don't think he did. So the Dolphins game is where he was used the most, and then his snaps decreased since. So hopefully he's healthy and he's ready to go, and he should be going into this year. I want to see what Christian Harris can do, because we saw it that second half of last year, and specifically that 2 playoff games with the Ravens, the Browns. The Browns, he had the breakout game we all saw. The Colts game before that, he was everywhere. He was flying all over the field. And in the Ravens game, there are not many linebackers that can run down Lamar Jackson and take him down with ease. You have one here in Houston. I'm not looking to trade that. I see the potential.
I mean, just reiterate, I do not want him back. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, because that Ravens game, the turning point was him when he got injured.
Yes.
That's when Lamar Jackson ran all over. And Christmas Day, Aziz was gone, Christian Harris was gone, and look what happened. It was a marathon. It was a track start. You know what I mean? So, we got to have somebody to, especially with the spy ability, for Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, any of those guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but to go back to the tight end talk, I can see them drafting the tight end, but I also can see this staying put and playing with what they got. Everybody's so ready to give up on Cade Stover, but what they forget is tight end is probably one of the hardest positions to transition to NFL. Look at Kyle Pitts. Was it 6 overall?
Yeah.
No, third or something, right?
Top 5, I believe, yeah.
And still has not lived up to the hype. There's only 3 real good tight ends that right out of college made an impact: Bowers, Laporta, and Hawkinson. I mean, other than that, it takes a year or two to get their mojo going. And the dude was a defensive end 2 years ago. He don't have a lot of experience at tight end. Give him some time with Nick Caley, and like you said, Harley, Brevin Jordan, stay healthy. I think you got your 1-2 punch right there. And it's decreasingly we see Schultz not play as much. Hopefully, but no hate on the guy. Just very irritating when third down and it's not kept.
Yeah, I feel you.
All right. Well, is there any guys that we did not see that you're interested in the Texans to take? Bo, I'll start with you, brother.
No, not really. The high point's been receiver, O-line. That's all I've been really focusing on. I haven't looked at any other positions because I feel like that's all that we really at top of the priority list. For me, is receiver, guard, tackle. Those are the top 3 for my priority.
Okay. Harley?
Yeah, I would definitely, I could agree. Obviously, you got O-line. We've talked about it to ad nauseum. Every NFL media outlets talked about offensive line. Wide receiver, obviously, too. You need another weapon opposite of Nico Collins. In with the doubt of whatever you have in the group. Christian Kirk's there, but he's had some injury history the past 2 years. You brought in Justin Watson and Braxton Berrios, but how much of those guys going to be a factor when coming into your other options there? So running back needs to be more of a talking point. I'm about to tweet it out right now, but Jeremy Fowler, even though he was talking about the Texans trading up in that article, there's a little snippet that no one caught, and it's the Texans, and the quote is, "Contenders such as the Texans, Chiefs, and Commanders are looking to improve their ground games." Now, that obviously that means 2 ways: offensive line and running backs. But in this context, he's talking about Marion Hampton. He's talking about Trevion Henderson. He's talking about running backs. That's why I can't see the Texans wanting to trade that 58th pick. I think it's a perfect opportunity to grab some running backs. I think there's plenty there. But even so, there's still numerous amount of running. This running back draft is so deep. One of my favorites, Brashard Smith out of SMU. He's like a 5th round option and former wide receiver turned running back. He was also a kick returner at Miami. You get the best of everything, right? He could be a special teamer if he doesn't pan out to be anything. But I mean, former wide receiver turned running back, a guy that's great with his hands, really good running back as well at SMU. I mean, I could go on and on about him. Really love him. There's so many other guys. Dylan Sampson out of Tennessee is a tweener between day 2, day 3, probably a day 2 guy. I mean, 22 touchdowns at Tennessee, led the team in 22 touchdowns. School record, by the way. You know, Caleb Johnson, 21 touchdowns, Iowa. I mean, there's a lot of tread on the tires when it comes to Caleb Johnson, but there's many running backs in this draft. The Texans, I feel like they took the look at, there was 30 guys on their list. 8 of those guys at the NFL Combine were running backs. That was tied with the most meets between offensive line and wide receiver was running backs. And so I think the Texans are taking a running back with one of those first 4 picks in the top 100.
If not 25. I mean,
that's ballsy. That's ballsy.
I'm just saying, swing, right? That'd be a swing for the fences, right? So, I mean, I think
the national media jokes would be, oh my God, the Texans drafted a running back and they don't have an offensive line to block for him. That would be the immediate joke. But like I just did a mock draft a few days ago, and it was Marion Hampton fell to me at 25. I said, you know what? Let me take it. That was a growing conversation. Is what if the Texans drafted a running back at 25? So I took Marion Hampton, but then I still ended up with Tate Ratledge. It was Tate Ratledge. It was Ariante Ursery from Minnesota. And then I forgot who's Trey Harris was the other pick. Now, Trey Harris won't be a 3rd-round pick. I think he's a day 2 guy. I don't think he's a day 3. But that's not bad. You still got 4 picks in the top 100. Just because you don't draft O-line at 25, it ain't the end of the world. Initially, might not be great reception from the Texans fans getting a running back at 25. But trust me, in 2 years or 3 years, when Joe Mixon is handing the baton over to, let's say, Travion Henderson, and he's rocking and rolling and he's doing his thing, did not have a lot of tread on the tires this senior year because he was combo back with Quinshawn Judkins, still had 1,000 yards rushing, still did his thing. And if he's rocking and rolling here in with Houston Texans, and Joe Mixon's happy to hand the baton over because he's declining as age comes about, I would be ecstatic. And Texans fans would be going, oh my God, I'm so happy we drafted a running back at 25 there. What a smart move, Nick. That could be something that happens.
Yeah, and you also, we got Etienne's brother. I
love Trevor Etienne.
5th or 6th round pick. Like, he could fall there. Like you said, this draft is so stacked, especially at receiver, running backs, defensive tackles. Like, it's so good that we can. That's why I don't, like you said, Hardy, I don't want us to reach for somebody, and then we don't have that capital. And if we want to get that capital, we're gonna have to spend even more to jump back up there. So just like stay put, relax, don't jump the game. But my thing that I not in the 1st round or 2nd round, but I honestly in the 3rd round, I think if a couple players fall there, I say corner. If Kobe Bryant from KU falls at 3rd,
Texans met with him.
I think you take a gamble with him. I mean, yes, we got Last, we got Stingley, but outside of them, like yes, Petrie did good, coming in on corner sometimes, but we know D'Amico, he loves to rotate, and I can't have what we had last year where we brought in these journeyman guys on 1-year deal and just get cooked, just get burnt. Aduka was just a dookie. That's what he was. Like he was just straight garbage. And so I think if somebody's there like that, I think you take a gamble on it. You take a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I like Kobe Bryant. He talked about He met with the Texans, I believe, in the NFL Combine, I want to say. I could be wrong about that. It's either Senior Bowl or Combine. It's right in between that. But he's a dog, and he talked about how him and Kamari Lassiter are friends, and he plays just like Kamari Lassiter. And if anything we saw last year was Lassiter got the fans excited for how he was playing on that football field. I would be ecstatic to have a Kobe Bryant, and the name itself is just awesome to have on the team as well. Brownie points. But yeah, man, I would be ecstatic to have him on the football team. So is D'Amico.
I think D'Amico would love any defensive players at this point. You know,
Never have enough corners.
Right. Bo, any last thoughts, brother?
No, I'm just excited, man. I'm excited. The draft means we close to the NFL season, man. It's been a long off season so far.
Now, when do the schedules come out? And they come out in June, right?
I feel like it's after the draft, so it has to be around either late May or early June. Has to be
something like that. Yeah, I think that's about right. May or June.
That's when we know. All right, it's coming right around the corner. I just can't take it.
Blink.
Yeah, can't take it no more. Well, fellas, thank you for coming on. Why don't you all tell me where we can find you and what you got cooking, so that way we can support you? Hardy, I'll start with you first, fella.
Yeah, y'all can find me at @TheLead_HOU anywhere on social media. I've been posting a lot more on Instagram and TikTok, trying to get more constant on those two platforms. Been lots of growth from both of them, so I appreciate everybody checking it out. You could also find me on YouTube at @TheLead_HOU, as well as Twitter, but especially YouTube. That's my main platform. I'm on the road to 15,000 subscribers. We have passed 13K just a few weeks ago. Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate everybody, man, giving me all the love and support. It's been a hell of a journey so far, and can't wait to hit 15K. Hopefully the goals before training camp, we can hit 15K.
Yes, sir. Now, Mr. Bo Diggity, what about yourself, brother?
Yeah, y'all can find me on all social media platforms at Bo Diggity 713. Trying to grow the Instagram, trying to do more YouTube content as well this season. Hopefully we can get more videos, more long form. They say long form content. So hopefully we get that this season too. A couple interviews. Hopefully I can do more of that for the games coming up this season. But yeah, follow me on Bo Diggity 713 for everything.
And follow me at A1 Day One Texans everywhere. And of course, my boy Crenshaw at Fifth Ward Crenshaw, Keno at Here Ken Out. And then Honcho, H-Town, Honcho 713, and Texans T at Texans T TV, and the podcast at Texans Fan About everywhere. We are having a live episode tomorrow watching the draft. So if you ain't got nothing to do or a little bored while you're at the draft party, make sure you click on join it with us. Till then, stay blessed, and we're almost there.
I'ma calm down. Once we chop it up, there's an H-Town anthem, so we gotta slow it up.
This the best podcast known to man. We been raw. You heard it here first from Keno and Fifth Ward.